So part of this is a test. I don't have the camera right exactly where I want it, but it's a nice start. It seems pretty rigid though. That's one of the cool things about it. So I'm gonna work on the details of that. But it's also a sound check too. This is the this is the iPhone 11 Pro Max. One of the things that I typically do is leave myself ample time to go the speed limit and obey the laws. That's actually a pretty big deal. This device I'm using is a black web windshield charging mount that seems to work really good right now. I like it. So it is Saturday, and we get quite a changeover on a Saturday, meaning a lot of people will arrive and leave on a Saturday. So we are really policed up big time. It comes with the territory. So it's a little off center, which is a little odd. If I just try and crank it centered, it'll break the windshield mount. But it certainly seems nice and rigid. That's one of the things. A lot of the different devices have pivot points and extensions and then plastic tightening devices that go over the top of threaded metal fasteners, and all that stuff breaks. They just fall apart. I'm tough on equipment. That's one of the things. I've joked about that for years, but it's true. I am tough on equipment in that I'll stretch it to its limits and beyond. How do you know where the limits are if you haven't exceeded them? That's one of the things. Checking out the coastal preserve. The tide is going to come in and up for a half an hour after sunrise. It's absolutely gorgeous out here right now. So when I drive in like this, it's pretty typically a nice fresh smell. At low tide, there would be a sulfur smell from decomposing plant, vegetable, and animal matter, fish, and more. So that's part of the construct, part of the reality of the world that we live in. So I'm evaluating right now if I'm going to go out to the pier immediately, or am I going to start out at the coastal preserve? Typically, when the sun becomes visible from this vantage point, the wind picks up. Right now, there's virtually no wind. It's very calm. So this is the Russell R. Burgess Coastal Preserve, and I'm less than a quarter of a mile from the ocean right now. The open ocean. The Prince Resort is right nearby. So there is a little bit of how would I say, a breeze. I can see it. So even though there's ripples on the water, it's pretty obvious that the reflection of that building and silhouette, it's kind of like more of a silhouette. In the summer, the sun comes up way over there from this vantage point. Today, it's going to come up way over here from this vantage point. That is the Prince Resort right there. Cherry Grove Fishing Pier is right in front of it. Let's see how effective the zoom is. Should be able to read that okay. I can hear a wind chime in the background over there. I don't know if you can hear that. The wind is out of the north at 4. And of course, we don't have toilet water flying out on people in Australia because of gravity. Well, hello, it's just water seeking its level. That's what it does. One of my haters says, "Are you the Guido that said we don't have toilet water flying out on people in Australia?" Yeah, well, that's not exactly the quote. Because of gravity, I went on to say, people largely believe the lie they want to believe. That's what I've come to find out. So it's a psychological term called confirmation bias. Boy, it looks like it's slanted a little bit there. Oh, there's a little bird right there. How beautiful, huh? So some of this is a test, a technology test. I'm using the, that's not level. Not happy with that. Okay, so how can I level that out? It's pretty close. I don't know why, there's just something not quite right with it. So today there's roughly a 5.5 foot tide. At low tide, there will be a rugged bottom visible all around here. Clam beds. Even with the lighting right there, we can see the clouds down there with up there. I know I can. Let me turn it. Should be able to see that better maybe. Now the wind is about 7 to 10. That's the breeze that I was talking about when the sun approaches. The sun, moon, and stars move above the stationary and level Earth. There would be no level anywhere on a spinning water sphere hurling through space. Just think about it. That's the reality. How about that? I'm big into reality. That's part of what my recordings are, and what I'm doing is I'm wanting to show the actual reality of the world that we live in. Now, right here from this vantage point, the sun is appearing like right over the middle of the houses there. It's a bit different. Than just from that location there. So now this time of the year, right before the Hampton Inn is put up there at the Prince Resort, I'll have the ability to park without charge, no cost to park there, free of charge. One of the dynamics, just to a comment over to this area right here, because of what's going on, there's a protection from the wind, which gives the water a glassier look closer by here. And then of course we still have the ripples from little fish surfacing. Wow. That looked like a heron. How beautiful. Good morning.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It sure is. If you want to see what it looks like when you get back to wherever you go, here's my here's my car.
Every morning.
Oh, nice. I'm Robert Forsch. What's your name?
Oh, here, I got a couple of
Oh, thank you. Nice to meet you all. Hey, thanks so much.
Nice.
Oh, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise, thanks. It's beautiful. So what I'll be doing in a little bit is using a high-powered zoom camera to zoom in really close on the sun. I'm headed over to the ocean right now. Sometimes I do it that way too. Nice to meet y'all. So that's part of the relational dynamic of what I do. It doesn't have to be where I try and tell people everything that I would like them to know right then, because that's just not even practical. It's not even possible. So my desire is to help people make an informed choice on the reality of the world that we live in. And much of the system of control is presenting a false reality. I include this on some of my videos. We can see even just an urban display of the flat and level water and the perfect symmetry that's from that with the lighting. And this says dead end, no turnaround. It's actually somewhat of a reality. When we're no longer able to fog a mirror, we can't really turn around. It's that's it for us. So I encourage people to seek the truth with all of their heart, or your heart, because, well, it matters for eternity, right? I believe it does. So to some, it may appear to be dangerous driving and recording. At this point, in this location, it's not illegal. When I was in, I believe it was Georgia for a while, it's actually illegal to hold your phone while driving. They were real specific. So, like, technically, I can have it on a car mount like that, as far as I understand. And then one of the other things is, of course, I give preference to the drive. And I would put it in the car mount, but every time that I change the mounting location, I run the risk of stopping the recording. That's just the way that works. It's kind of a challenge. My lights flash quickly because I have LED low draw. They all work. I know some people have been helpful, and they say, oh, it sounds like you got a blinker out. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, but that's not what it is. So sometimes our assessment of what we perceive to be the truth can be different than the reality of that. Now, I know when Sally would be monitoring the parking lot for parking, and it was $8 a day to park, there wouldn't be very many people on the lot. Not like this, anyway. Obviously, today it's a lot different. So there we go. That's where the sun's approaching. We've got a lot of wind out here now. I'm gonna cut it and grab the P1000 now.